Hi everyone, welcome and thank you all for joining me. I'm excited about today's topic because I think it's something a lot of people miss in the marketing life cycle, so I think this topic will be really useful for a lot of you. I know a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses focus on attracting traffic and new leads to their website, but they forget to really nurture those leads and take that next step to convert them once they've become a lead. And unfortunately, that just becomes a wasted opportunity. So today we are talking about emails that convert, and this kind of covers a broad spectrum of goals. Email marketing is used for everything from retaining your audience and just keeping them interested and around and informed, to actually turning your leads into actual clients or patients. So this information is going to be helpful no matter what you're hoping to accomplish with email marketing. It's just important that you actually do it. And so these formulas that we're going to talk about today can be applied to all different types of emails because conversion is really at the core of your email marketing. It's about bringing people back into your world in whatever way you want them there. So let's jump in and talk about emails that convert. Okay, so first things first, you need to determine who you are targeting. So what are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to stay top of mind? Are you trying to get more followers on Facebook? Are you trying to get more immediate business, which is something, we hear a lot. So these are the things that are going to drive your targeting, so it's crucial to have a real goal in mind before you get started. And as you're creating these emails, you need to be sure that you have a clear call to action. Too many options are going to lead to confusion, and confused minds do not convert, and that is a favorite quote from Tom Foster. So it's really important to focus your goals and your calls to action on one thing that's easy for people to understand. If you want more Facebook followers, explain the value of connecting with your business on Facebook and then tell them to like your page on Facebook. Do not also offer them, a free book, a free consultation, tell them to call in your office, get them to schedule an appointment, send them to your recent content. It's really about one action that you want them to take, and people will lose focus if you do this. So the body of the email should have one call to action. And if you have like a standard signature with a link back to your site or the option to make an appointment, that's fine. But keep your message focused. And this is really going to also help you speak to the right audience, which is our next point here. Know your audience. You need to know who you're speaking to. So for example, a lot of estate planners will reach out to parents with kids who are graduating high school to remind them, like, now is a good time to update your will. So in that case, tailor your message to, what they're experiencing. This is probably, here we go. This is probably an exciting and bittersweet time for them. And so they want to make sure that no matter what happens, their kids are going to be okay. And you can really kind of emphasize your empathy and your understanding of their situation with your messaging here. So for example, if you're a podiatrist and you want to see more patients who need orthotics, point out like what they may be experiencing so that they realize there's a solution to the problem that they have. This stuff is not rocket science, but if you speak to your audience's concerns and you really tailor the message to them, it's going to resonate a lot more than if you were to cast like a big broad net. So this is also going to help determine how you segment your list. So we're just feeding right into the next thing here. So you've absolutely got to be tagging your list to be sure you're speaking to the right people. So if I'm in my 30s and I get that email from the estate planner about my kids graduating high school, I'm probably going to unsubscribe, Some messages are acceptable for a wider audience, but you are going to have much greater success speaking to the people who need what you're offering when you're offering it. And this absolutely needs to be done for drip campaigns, and I know that there are a number of people out there who are not utilizing drip campaigns, and that is such a missed opportunity. If you have an offer on your website for what to do after a car accident, you need to have an email drip campaign that speaks to people about car accidents. So I don't need to know that you also practice maritime law because that's not relevant to me. So don't, send those mass emails to me that are really casting that wide net. Make sure you're tagging to segment your lists in whatever CRM you're using so that you're speaking directly to your leads about the things that they're going to be most interested in. And here's a big thing. You need to put yourself on that campaign too. If you're not receiving your own emails, you're going to have issues. I'm on our drip campaigns and I read all of the emails, even the ones I've written myself. And every now and then I notice that there's a link that I missed or something that needs to be updated, or, I'm pointing people to kind of older content when I have something newer and more relevant on the site. So it's really important to QA your own work there. So keep that in mind as you're setting up these email campaigns and when you're sending out emails to your audience in general. So what prompts people to open emails? Obviously, targeting the right audience is a critical step, but how do you get that audience to actually open your emails? Because you can have the perfect message for the perfect person, but if they're not opening it, it doesn't matter. So there are a number of different types of subject lines that typically result in great open rates, and as you can see them here, the first one is fear of missing out. So this is one that you often see associated with product sales or promotions, like a limited time offer, which will make people feel pressured to take advantage before they miss out. But you can also use this type of subject line to your advantage, even if you're not running a sale or having some sort of promotion. For example, you could focus your message on the 10 things that you need to do right away after a car accident. So you're really kind of creating that sense of urgency and instilling a little bit of fear that they might not be doing the right thing at the right time. Curiosity is another big one. So you want to pique people's curiosity, but you want to be sure that you're not misleading when you do it. So subject lines that say things like, are you doing this thing wrong? Or how not to treat running injuries. The easiest way to ruin your accident injury claim. These things leave something to the imagination, and they're going to prompt readers to find out more, but they're not misleading. And that's really an important thing because you want to be honest in your email marketing. So asking questions is a really great way to take advantage of that curiosity. So like, did you make this same mistake? Or what are your goals for the new year? These sort of things lead people to want to open the email and find out what the answers are to those questions, but also what was that mistake that somebody made? Should I find out if I made the same mistake? So those are the kinds of questions that are really going to pique people's curiosity. Pain points. So what keeps your patients or clients up at night? Are their medical bills starting to pile up? Do they worry about their financial future? Are they limited by their pain or their injuries? And then, really what can you do to help them within the content of the email? This is not, meant to be a deceptive tactic or a way to kind of take advantage of people who are in pain. This is just simply pointing out that you understand where they're coming from. And if I see something that really clearly points out what I'm experiencing, I'm going to be a lot more likely to click on that and read what you have to say about it. Personal subject lines can literally just be a personalized subject line using the recipient's name, or you can personalize it to them in a different way by addressing, those pain points or asking about something specific that you know is relevant to them because you tagged them in your CRM, like I mentioned earlier. So did you enjoy your consultation with Dave? Or Frank, do you still have questions? Or Emily, how are you feeling after your first appointment? Those are personal messages that connect the reader directly to your business and bring them kind of right back to where they were when they first met you or saw you or learned about you. It gives them an opportunity to make a connection in their mind. So those can be really powerful subject lines. Okay, and then vanity. People love to be the star of the show, so feed into that ego. You've done the smart thing by reaching out for people who have filled out a contact form or, asked for more information on something. Another good one is we want to feature you. So if you have someone that you want to get a testimonial from, ask them if you can feature them and ask them for feedback on their experience and if they had a good time. One quick example, I ordered a sweater online and the confirmation email said, "You've got great taste," which, that really reinforced my decision to buy from them, and it played to my ego, but it also kind of led to, oh yeah, I did make a great decision. These people know that I have great taste. Like, it was a good reinforcement for their brand as well as for the decision that I made. So try it out when you're creating emails and just see, what works for you. Something important to note is to avoid spammy words. You need to keep your subject lines pretty short. And also check on all your different devices to see how it will display, because an email subject line may look very different on a desktop than it will on a mobile screen. So keep that in mind. You don't want to cut things off too short before you kind of get to the sweet spot. So those are important things to note when creating those subject lines. And then humanize. Sending emails that don't feel human is a really easy way to get ignored. Like, you've got to use a real name when you're sending your marketing emails. So you've probably noticed that a lot of our emails come from me, or they come from Tom Foster or Lindsay Darr, or occasionally Gretchen Upright. They almost always come from a person. And because we have a higher open rate when a name is associated with an email, so that's really what that's about. Like, if we send something from Foster Web Marketing, the open rate's usually not quite as high and the click-through rate's usually not quite as high. So this is especially important for you guys because as doctors and lawyers, you're building trust with your audience and creating a relationship. You can even include a picture here to really make that connection, because those things, they do make a difference, truly. So when you're writing messages for humans, share your story. Why do you do what you do? That matters to a lot of people. You don't need to share your entire story in every single email that you send, but share something that will resonate. If you're a personal injury attorney, maybe you hate seeing people get taken advantage of by insurance companies. Maybe your dad was an attorney and you always looked up to him. Maybe you became a podiatrist because you felt the need to help people. What makes you different from any other attorney or doctor that I could work with? If you have been following Foster Web Marketing for any length of time, there's a good chance that you've heard Tom's story. And that really makes him an approachable human being. He does not pretend to know it all or to have always had it figured out. And it hasn't been an easy journey for him. So people see that and it resonates, and he's been able to build really strong relationships with our clients just by being a person, And yes, you have to be good at your job too, but personality really definitely counts for a lot. And, you can and should also show off your brand personality. Who are you as a brand? Are you loving and compassionate? Are you fun and easygoing? Are you pretty straight-laced and serious about getting results? Whatever that kind of brand personality is, you can share that in your emails as well. And then finally, be honest in your marketing. When you're sharing your story, talk about those hurdles you've faced or what you've struggled with. Humanizing yourself in this way can be an extremely powerful strategy. I know a number of you follow Dan Kennedy's marketing, and he is very honest about mistakes he's made and things he's done wrong and how he's managed to come out on top. So he's had great success with that, and he'll tell you he's had great success with it too, but it started with, the struggles from the beginning. So this doesn't just apply to your storytelling. It's an absolute necessity, when you make promises. Do not overpromise and underdeliver, because you're going to lose your entire audience. So if you say these 3 tricks will change your life, you better deliver some pretty great advice in your email, you know? Be honest and set realistic expectations with your communications, and you will earn the trust of your audience. It is really that simple. And that's really it. You know, this presentation is short and sweet, but it's really important information. Be clear about your goals, entice your readers with subject lines, and be a human when it comes to email marketing. If it's not something that you would open or understand, your prospects won't either. So it's pretty straightforward, but if you have any questions or need guidance on this stuff, feel free to shoot me an email. It's molly@fosterwebmarketing.com, or you can always reach our customer service team at tickets@fosterwebmarketing.com. So thanks again for joining me, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.